about people from Mexico coming over, having a baby, getting a check, and then crossing back over the border. They complain about people coming over here, not paying no taxes and all this good stuff. In the meantime, we have United States citizens illegally crossing into Mexico, enjoying themselves there, getting their check from the United States, and then not paying any taxes. Well, guess what, darlings? The day of reckoning has come. You are now an illegal alien who is living off the land of Mexico, and you will now be required to pay your taxes. So the Mexican president took a big hard look at the United States of America and said, "Hold my beer." You see, the United States citizens have the audacity to complain about people from Mexico coming over, having a baby, getting a check, and then crossing back over the border. They complain about people coming over here, not paying no taxes and all this good stuff. In the meantime, we have United States citizens illegally crossing into Mexico, enjoying themselves there, getting their check from the United States, and then not paying any taxes. Well, guess what, darlings? The day of reckoning has come. You are now an illegal alien who is living off the land of Mexico, and you will now be required to pay your taxes.
So I was watching the news, and the Mexican president told the United States president, check this out. Mexico said to pay back all the money and taxes that the so-called American citizens are in Mexico, right? Now, he's ordering any citizen from the United States to have a green card to come to Mexico. That is so beautiful. Other countries are finally waking up with the bullshit and the corruption of the United States government. That is so beautiful. This president, he's not going to be in office. Nobody's voting for him. Nobody's going to vote for no fucking Republican. All right? That president told him straight out, you got to pay back. Your American citizens come over here, have babies and stuff. Now, he's passing a law. You need a green card to go to Mexico. Any property that any United States citizen owns will be confiscated. Yes. That is so beautiful. See, our government don't like the shit when the hand is on the other foot. You see, they pass these laws on every other country, and now they passing the same laws on our country, well, on the United States. That is so beautiful. That is so fucking beautiful. Now, I'm going to say this to every fool out there and their family members that are in the military. This war with Israel doesn't have a damn thing to do with our Constitution of the United States. You are a fool. Don't get on the news crying your son got killed over there because of this president. You was a fool. You didn't have to go in the military to fight for no country that has nothing to do with the United States. You was a fool. They got what they deserved. They are traitors to the United States constitutional rights of the forefathers put in there. In the Constitution, it states about the forefathers that the military of the United States shall not fight any wars that is not contained with the United States. The only military that fights for the United States is the United States military when it is being invaded. Guess what? Your Congresses, your Republicans, your Democrats, your president is none but a motherfucking liars. Every one of them caused treason. Okay? Every one of them has caused treason. And for the last time, I'm having a battle right now online with this guy called Joseph. He's an idiot. And I keep telling him to look up the law where it states right here under, I had it. Where did it go? Okay. The law of the land is the superior law of the land. All right? There's no ifs and no buts. Everybody knows that. Smart people know that. Okay? Intelligent people know that. Okay? The law of the land is the superior law of the land. Mulberry versus Madison. Congress does not have the power to pass any laws. Mulberry versus Madison. 1803. Congress nor a president can pass any laws or executive orders. They can never change that. These are the forefathers that made these laws, that made these rulings in the United States Superior Court. The United States Superior Court, all rules, regulations, and codes, which is penal codes, are for government officials only, not the bided citizen. The Constitution protects all Americans that were born in the United States. The Constitution protects all Americans that were born in the United States. It doesn't say whether your daddy came to the United States, your mama came to the United States, none of that. Okay? It doesn't say that. Okay? It specifically clear states that. All right? We, the people, have more power to remove Congress, presidents, Democrats, and Republicans out of office. We, the people, hold that power. When are you idiots going to wake up? Because I told y'all before, it's already too late. We got to stop putting in office these crooked motherfuckers, man. We got to start putting them on trial, like it says about treason in the Constitution. Madison states about treason in the Constitution from government officials. And it states they have to be taken to trial, found guilty, and hung. And hung. They have to be hung. Madison, Washington, Jameson, James, Abraham Lincoln, they all said the same thing. They knew that the corrupt that was going to happen. They knew this. Our government is the corruptest government in the world. And let's get one thing clear here for the last fucking time. We have never won no war. That's number one. But no. The biggest one is the United States is not the powerful state in the world. That's a bunch of bullshit. Stop saying that. The United States is not the richest country in the world. Stop saying that. Because if they were, we wouldn't be going to war to take other people's resources. Okay? Stop saying that. You want to help. You bitch so much that your rent's going up and this and that and this and that. Well, you got something to do. Fight against that. Because no property's value goes so fucking high in the United States. Nobody's property. It's all a rig. They all rig. They number crunch. It's all a criminal organization. That's all our government is. It's a criminal organization, and we have to take them down. From every Republican and Democrat and president, we have to take down, held for treason. The military has to go and start getting these people in Congress, Republicans, Democrats, and president, and take them into custody. That's what the military is supposed to be doing. We have never won a war, you idiots. Never. We have lost brothers, sisters. Well, we have lost brothers, fathers, cousins, nephews in all wars behind greed. All behind greed, lies, obsessions, control. That's what we done. Wake the fuck up, you idiots. Because it's too late. I keep telling y'all. Then you got under Madison versus the United States. No government, no Congress, no president can pass any laws. All rules, codes, and regulations are for government officials only, not the bided citizen. And people stop saying we going into mandatory laws. Bullshit, because we're not a vessel. The United States is not a vessel. Those crimes got to be committed on water, in a vessel, on a ship. The United States is not a ship. So we cannot go into military laws. The United States is not a ship or a vessel. Wake the fuck up, people. Wake up. We got the constitutional right to defend, to kill, to protect our homes. We got the constitutional right to bear firearms. It says nothing in there whatsoever in the Constitution that this man is a felon. He's not allowed to own a firearm. There's nothing whatsoever. Those are rules. Those are laws that does not apply to no one because they cannot make no laws like that. They are void. They are all void. Fight for your constitutional rights. Read your original constitutional rights. All state constitution is in violation of the federal constitution, of the original constitution, the laws of the land, the common laws of the land. We got the right to defend. We got the right to fight back. We got the right to protect ourselves against all enemies, whether it's a pig, cop, sheriff, deputy, judge, DA, prosecutor, city attorney. We got that fucking constitutional right. We got that right to whip their ass when they come at us. We got the right to protect ourselves. We have that constitutional right. We got that right by God's laws, by the common law of the land. Fuck what a judge says. Fuck what a prosecutor says. We got that right. Start hitting these sons of bitches under the violation of their constitutional rights, violation of their oath of office, because if they do not have on file an oath of office, they have to be arrested immediately and taken into custody. That's for judges. That's for DAs, prosecutors, public defenders, attorneys, sheriffs, deputies, pigs, cops. They all have to have an oath of office. I don't know how many times you so-called American people are so stupid when the United States Secretary of State stated they cannot perform and anything that they have done is void. That goes from law clerks, that goes from judges, that goes from prosecutors, that goes from the pigs, the sheriffs, the cops, that goes for them all. Is non and void. They have to have an oath of office on file. Not when they want it there. They got 10, when you request that oath of office, they have 10 business days to give you a copy. 10 business days, and it has to have the insurance company policy number on there. They have 10 business days to give you a copy of the oath of their office. They took an oath of office. They have to give it to you within 10 business days. Now, I'm fighting with this guy, man, online, and he finally seen what I was saying. He looked it up. He apologized to me. And then he said, but also I want to know about this lead piping. Copper piping. I said, dude, copper was always there to protect us in our water. You had some in Congress from Republicans and Democrats that got kickback for this PCP piping. That's all it was. They got kickbacks for that. That's why, some houses use that, and that's why your houses always leak and stuff like that, because that shit is not 1,000% guarantee. But when we had copper pipes back then, the water was protected. Because we need copper in our blood. We need copper in our body. So they come up with this big story about copper, which was all bullshit. Just like cigarettes, was all bullshit. Everybody was getting cancer from everything, from the food, from the pesticides that they still spray on the food, and the vegetables that they still spray, okay? Then you got idiots that go for this shit when all of it was that, look, man, I need you to pass this law. Here's $150,000. All right, I'll pass it down to my colleague. Let's see what he got to say. Well, if he wants me to pass this law, I want 250 mil. Go back, and he wants 250 mil. Will he do it? He said he'll do it. He'll pass the law to ban all copper, lead-based paint, and lead pencils. All right? Now, I'm going to get on to y'all about the lead-based paint. I'm going to tell y'all about that in a minute. All right, so Congress passed these laws while they got richer for extortion and blackmail. That's how they passed these laws. But you forget about one important thing. If you read your original constitutional right, they cannot pass no laws. No, the president can't pass no laws. Congress can't pass no laws. Republicans can't pass no laws. Democrats can't pass no laws. City council members can't pass no laws. Read your original constitutional right. There's so many cases out there where it proves for you to be charged with murder, it has to be under military law because the murder has to be committed in sea. But you committed the crime on land, you cannot be prosecuted. Read your original constitution. Read all of the cases about criminal law. Every fucking citation that they give you is fraud. Straight fraud. Like, I'll give you an example. This punk give me a ticket, right? He had to sign it. I had to sign my name. And I told him, I said, well, why do I got to sign it? Because there's no law in the world that says if I don't sign this ticket, you got the right to take me to jail. That's false imprisonment. There have been so many cases all over California, New York, Chicago, Las Vegas, Nevada. There's no law that you got to sign a ticket. There's no law whatsoever that you got to go to jail because you're driving without a license when the Constitution says in all kinds of cases I could throw up there of traveling, we got the right to travel. We got the right to bear arms. We got the right not to register a vehicle, not to get a driver's license. But you people are so stupid. You go by what these motherfuckers say. So I did the best thing for the son of a bitch. I signed the ticket and I sent it to the city, to the Secretary of the State. Because guess what? I'm the co-signer for the ticket. So the Secretary of the State got to send it to that officer. He got to pay that ticket. Look it up. That's all you got to do. Look it up. That pig got to pay that ticket. Not me. He got to pay that fucking ticket. I'm the co-signer. He signed his name first. I'm the co-signer. He got to pay that ticket. I sent it to the Secretary of State, put down the law on there, put down the United States and United States Superior Court rules. From the United States Superior Court, I got the right to travel. I got the right to drive without a license. I got the right to drive without registering my vehicle. That's my property. I got that constitutional. I put it all on there. He sends me an apology letter. We'll be sending this ticket to the officer that signed this ticket. To the state and county where this officer works at will be receiving this ticket. There's no further action that's going to be taken against you. Thank you for bringing this to my attention, sir. I got the letter. I got it all. Yes. Now, lead paint. They put this fantasy in everybody's head that babies were dying from eating lead paint. First of all, if your child was dying from eating lead paint, all your kids should be removed. You should have no right to have no child. That's number one. Okay? But all of that was bullshit. Lead paint, this is what happened. Back in the 80s, when the public was allowed to have their cell phone, before it was always in cars, and they had an extra antenna on the car, that's when you knew that car had a cell phone in the car. So they said, well, guess what? We got to try to figure out a way here, and our Congress got to help us to figure out, we'll give you kickbacks and stuff. We got to figure out how to get rid of all telephone company services in the United States. We're the only country that does not have telephone services in the world. We're the only country, let me rephrase that because some people are stupid. We're the only country in the world that does not have a landline through a telephone company. We're the only country in the world. The only country in the world that does not have a landline. A landline is through the telephone wires, to the telephone line. That's a landline, not a cell phone. That's a landline. So there's a big difference, huge difference. We're the only country in the world that does not have landlines. Where you pick up the phone, you dial for an operator. We're the only country. So back in the 80s, they come up with this plan. Matter of fact, it was the mid-70s. Because cell phones been out for years. Cell phones been out for years in cars and stuff. They've been out for years. The only ones that used to have those was those big popular attorneys and shit, you know, stuff like that. So cell phones been out for years. Military cars had them. Basically, that was it. Military cars had them, and then they started putting them in civilian cars. Certain civilian cars, you had to make a certain amount of money to get one in your car. All right? So anyway, these idiots decided, well, how much can you give me if we pass this law to get rid of lead-based paint? Because the lead-based paint, if you had lead paint in your house and you had a cell phone, it interfered with the signal, the waves signals. It interfered with it completely. Completely. It interfered with it. So they say, okay, well, this is what we do. We put out this big story, you know, and start saying that people are dying from lead-based paint. They're getting cancer from it. Babies are dying. And, you know, when you say babies, everybody go for that bullshit. Save the children. Save the children. Fuck you and your child. Because you don't give a fuck about other people, other countries' kids. Fuck you and your kid. So we'll say that, and we'll get a lot of these idiots to vote with me, you know. And that's what they did. So they removed lead-based paint because the radio signals could not get through your house when you use your cell telephone. That was the problem. So what's the best way to fool all you idiots where Congress destroyed all telephone companies in the United States? All of them. Had them shut the fuck down for cell telephones. Now, you go into the bracket now about your privacy. We have the right of privacy. You don't tell me you got the right to your privacy, but I don't have the right to my privacy. That's bullshit. We have the right to privacy. All of these laws that are being written up is not by one motherfucker in Congress. They're getting them from these colleges, from these motherfucking people that don't even belong in the United States. Okay? So, now, so many courts have ruled in the United States Superior Court, no internet provider, no Facebook, no Twitter, what is the other one? Instagram, Google. We got Google in court, by the way. Yeah. Google, none of them can violate freedom of speech, freedom of the press, freedom of expression. None of them can. I don't give a fuck about their rules and regulations do not apply to citizens of the United States. Their guidelines do not apply to citizens. I don't give a fuck how they put it. We got the right to say what we want to say. We got the right to curse out our president. We got the right to curse out our government. We got the right to curse out our judges, our DAs, our prosecutors, our pigs, our cops, our sheriffs. We got that constitutional right. That is a God-given right. That is a common law right. That is in the Constitution. They cannot change the Constitution for words that they feel because they hate a race. That you have no right. And that's what the laws are there for races that they hate. Because if you notice, they lock up more Hispanics, more African Americans, more Puerto Ricans, and all of that for freedom of speech violations. Now, did they do that to your Trump? No. Which he's supposed to be taken in a military base, held on trial, and executed like it says in the Constitution. Because he's not only a traitor, but he has admitted taking money from foreign countries for his presidential. It says it in the Constitution. Anyone that befriends and betrays the Constitution with a foreign country has to be removed from office and executed. That's what it says. That's what's supposed to happen. And all you Trump lovers, get the fuck out of this country. Go back to your country where your ancestors are from. You do not belong here. Even though this country is the Indian land, which is beautiful. The Indians should be packing up, getting ready to take back their country, kick every one of us the fuck out of this country. I'll go back to Italy. That's where my mom and my daddy's from. I was told, from Italy. So I'll go back. I'll take my ass to Italy. I don't give a fuck about you. I got my passport. I know how to hitchhike. I know how to steal shit. So I'll go back to Italy. I don't give a fuck about you. You know? Don't get too high fucks about none of you motherfucking racist bastards. You know? That's what's supposed to happen. See, and then they tell you this bullshit about smoking. Let's get one thing clear here right now. There's no fucking such thing as secondhand smoke. All of that is a bunch of bullshit. I don't give a fuck. You bring me a doctor in front of my face for every fucking thing you want. And I'll tell that motherfucker straight. There's no fucking such thing as secondhand smoke. All of this shit started from this idiot. He was a Republican. His dad was a Republican in California. He got locked up for rape. He figured if he filed a lawsuit, he will get out because of the rape charge. He had like 16, 17 rape cases against his ass in California, 1983. All right? And his dad was a hell of a Republican in California, okay? And what happened was it backfired in his face, point blank, all right? He did his federal lawsuit in 1983, which it shouldn't even went into the courts, okay? So then you got all of these fucking stupid white people. Yeah, smoking's bad, but yet drinking is better than smoking. You get lung cancer, you get kidney cancer from all the alcohol you drink. So I filed a complaint one day at this restaurant because I don't like the smell of alcohol. I said, dude, look, I'm trying to have a decent meal and I'm smelling alcohol. Okay? I'm smelling alcohol. I don't drink. All right? So that's in violation of my rights and my privacy. I don't drink. So why you selling alcohol? I'd have known you were selling alcohol here. I wouldn't have came to this restaurant. Okay? I wouldn't have came in this restaurant. All right? That's secondhand poison right there because I smell alcohol. That's secondhand poison. Do I have a right to do that? No, because that's that man's business. But now, if a white person does that, it'll immediately go to trial. It's just like with this white old lady that she spilt on herself coffee. So they sued McDonald's. She won millions of dollars. Then you got some idiot that lets her child do what the fuck they want to do and blame everything on Tide because the dumb bitch wasn't watching her child. So the Tide package was on the floor. She let her child eat the Tide package and blame Tide. That's not these businesses' problem. That's your stupidity. Your child should be taken from you. But I forgot she was white and Tide was wrong. I totally forgot about that. I tell you, idiot motherfucker, something. Once that there should be a law, since y'all bitch so much about your laws, there should be a law. Once a person's child get hurt, should be immediately taken from them. And they should have a surgery where they could never have a kid again. They should not even have a dog or a cat. That's the kind of laws I'll pass because you are no good fit to be a parent. If you could let your child, you on the phone or getting screwed or whatever, and you got Tide on the floor, but that's Tide's fault. It's just like these idiot governors, which there's laws don't mean shit. And any judge that goes against the Constitution should be removed from the bench. You can't sue this company because your fucking white child got killed. He got shot up. But you don't hear these motherfuckers going after the police's guns that make guns for the police officers. There's always too many guns, too many guns. Well, I hate to bust the bubble to you ignorant fools of so-called America, They're the ones that's doing all the killing. You got your pigs, your cops, your sheriffs, your deputies. They're the ones that's doing all of the killing. They're the ones that's starting all of the trouble. They're the ones that lie, false arrest, false imprisonment. So we got the right to take them down. If they kill us, we got the right to kill them. The constitutional right says we got the right to defend ourselves, to protect ourselves. I don't give a fuck about your laws. I go by the law of the Constitution, the original Constitution, and the laws of God, and the common laws of the land. You break into my house, you will die. You will die. So I don't give a fuck about no judge passing these, no governor passing this bullshit, because those laws are not for citizens. Those laws are for government officials. Look it up, you idiots. Start going after their pockets. Start putting liens on their property. Start fucking suing these motherfuckers. Violation of the constitutional right, 1983. I got a letter from the United States Superior Court saying that this punk-ass clerk that signed documents wasn't even a legal clerk, had no bond to even touch legal documents. So he was removed from the United States Superior Court. This clerk did not have on file with the United States Secretary of State of Washington, D.C., did not have on file an oath of office. Everything that clerk signed is void. They can't come out later saying they did this. It's like this punk-ass prosecutor says, I threatened someone. Motherfucker, I didn't threaten nobody. This was my exact words. I'm coming after you what the law and the constitutional right says I got a right to do. Telling someone you're going to sue them is not a threat. That's in our original Constitution. Telling someone you're going to sue them is not a threat. Fuck what they say. The original Constitution, you got the right to sue the government. You got the right to sue the police. You got the right to sue the pigs, the sheriffs. You got the right to sue the clerks of the courts. You have that constitutional right to sue anyone that violates your constitutional rights. 1983. Telling someone you're going to sue them is not a threat. Is not a threat. Now, back to these stupid motherfuckers. You take your ass over there fighting for Israel. You are not fighting for your family. You are not fighting for the United States. You are fighting for Israel. You are not fighting for freedom. Take your ass, get killed while other guys fuck your wives and everything else and raise your kids. Go on and go over there, you stupid son of bitches. Go on over there. We've been lied to so much by the government, it's not even funny no more. They talk about corruption. They talk about the RICO Act when they are doing the same fucking thing. They are doing the same thing. They put the drugs in the black neighborhoods to pass laws to keep these idiots in jail. Blacks or Mexicans didn't have no fucking planes to bring these drugs into the United States. You want to know how the drugs came in? Let me explain something to you idiots right now, how the drugs came in. The poppy leaves, the black tar, the heroin, all of that came in through military. All of that came in through dead bodies from the military. The only ones that was allowed to open up them coffins was military. No customs, no nothing. Even though customs is not a fucking licensed company. That's how the drugs got into the United States. It wasn't from Mexico. It wasn't from nowhere else. The United States went and started being drug traffickers. Our own government started being drug traffickers. You know, if this president of Mexico keeps his word, every fucking American that has property in Mexico, it'll be confiscated until they pay their taxes on that property. You need a green card to go to Mexico. I hope that Mexican president keeps his word. Make them motherfuckers have a green card to go to Mexico. That Mexican president is doing the right thing. We, the people, can stop all of this bullshit with a blink of an eye. We, the people, can put these motherfuckers on trial. Held them for murder, conspiracy, hate crimes, violation of the constitutional rights, treason, terrorist acts. We, the people, our own government are the terrorists. Republicans, Democrats, every one of them motherfuckers need to be held up on trial. You want to do something, United States Army? I remember back then, man, I used to be proud. I used to be proud of the United States Army. I used to believe when we fighting for this, we fight for that. Then it opened up my eyes after 9/11. All of the brothers, all of the cousins, all of the fathers that died for this fucking country was lied to. Was straight fucking lied to. Not one war have we ever won. Not one war was for the people of the United States. It was for the corruption of our government. And it's still the corruption of our so-called government. Presidents can't pass no fucking laws. Congress can't pass no fucking laws. All rules, regulations, and codes and penal codes are for government officials only, not the abided citizens. All codes, rules, and regulations are not for the abided citizen. Those are for government officials. We need to start fighting back. Wake the fuck up. Don't bitch about your rent up so high. You can't afford food. They afford their food. They get their fucking food. We're the only fucking lousy country that got lab meat. Other countries banning that shit. People have been dying from that lab meat, fake eggs and all of that shit. People have been dropping dead. Our CDC gets kickbacks. Our FDA gets kickbacks. If I was governor, there would not be not one motherfucking Jew. Not one Jew working for the state of California. Because you are a traitor. And that's another thing. In the Constitution, it says no one from another country is allowed to work in government. You didn't know that, huh? You didn't know that, huh? Article 15. Article 15 of the United States, original United States Constitution, Article 15, paragraph 7.4. It states, if you are not a United States citizen born in the United States, you cannot run for no office whatsoever. No government, no governor, no city council members, none of that. That's what it says. Ted Cruz, take your ass back to Canada where the fuck you belong. There's no such thing in the United States Constitution about dual citizenship. No such thing. No such law. Ted Cruz, take your conspiracy ass, spying ass back to your country. Get the fuck out of the United States. You are not welcome with your racist motherfucking ass. You are not welcome. Take your crooked, racist ass back to Canada. And take that racist white bitch, Marjorie Taylor Greene, with you. And take that other stupid white bitch with you too. Kelly, whatever the fuck her stupid. Them are some stupid motherfuckers. I couldn't believe when I'm hearing this big ass show they putting on for the people, and y'all so stupid. This one stupid guy, he goes, well, how does the internet work? Do you mean to tell me that you need this to connect to the internet? Yes, you dumb motherfuckers. How, you see, we got some stupid motherfuckers in office that don't know shit about nothing, but run up with their fucking mouths. Them are the people that have to be taken out of office, put in prison. Them people right there. But you people, let me explain something for the last time. Every stupid motherfucker in the United States. We have the power to remove Congress. We, the people, have the power to remove the president, to remove the Democrats, the Republicans, Congress. We, the people, have the power to hold them on trial and execute them in a firing squad for treason. That's what it says in the United States Constitution. That's what it says in the Bill of Rights. That's what it says in the Independence. We, the people, they work for us. We do not work for them. We, the people, can stop all of this madness with a blink of an eye if we all come together. So don't bitch about your rent so high you can't get food. You want it to stop? Come together. Let's put them out of office. Let's hold them for treason. Let's hold them for murder. Let's hold them for conspiracy against we, the people. That's what we do. We give them the one-day trial, like it says in the original Constitution, for treason. And we put them to death where they belong. We confiscate everything that they own and give it to the poor. We, the people, run this country. Congress doesn't run shit but corruption. So the way they claim that they went after the mob, we got the right to go after them under the RICO Act. We have the same right to go after every Republican and Democrat and their lies, they say. Their lies, they say, against the Constitution and against the people. We have to take back this country, because if we do not do it now, it is too late. It is way too late. Wake up. There's two sheriffs I love. I forgot their names. I think one is in Texas and the other one is in I want to say Nevada, but I don't remember where the other one is from. But these two sheriffs, man, I admire them very much. I respect these two sheriffs, because they told that governor straight the fuck out, man. You kiss my ass, okay? I'm not violating nobody's Second Amendment rights. I'm not violating nobody's constitutional rights. You kiss my ass. I don't give a fuck about your laws. I'm not taking no weapons from nobody, no nothing. And that man right there stood by his oath of office that he took to protect the Constitution, which it states in the original Constitution, whether you want to believe it or not, in the original Constitution, 1776, the only law that was there was the sheriff. And it states right there, the sheriff's duty is to protect the Constitution and to take into custody anyone that violates that Constitution and hold that person on trial and execute that person in the original 1776 Constitution. And then you got some of these house nigga judges trying to be so white. See, let me explain something to you. I was governor. This is what will happen. No ifs and no buts. Anyone that violates their oath of office will be held. Will be held in custody. Will be tried. Will be put to execution. You will not violate no citizen's rights. Any pig, cop, sheriff, deputy, killer, suspect, you will be held without bail. You will be sentenced to death. There will not be no pigs, mothers or friends or cousins or nephews or no jury member. That will not happen. See, every jury member is supposed to be investigated. That's why these punk ass pigs get away with killing us. Because they got law enforcement already on the jury members. And the prosecutor and their attorneys that does not file these charges on these motherfuckers supposed to be hung too. They're supposed to be hung because they took an oath of office. They're supposed to be held for trial and executed too. You see? California just wiped out the bullshit because people woke up in California about attorneys needing a license. There's no such thing as an attorney license. It's a barcode you pay to a society, a club. That's a bar club. That's all it is a bar club license. That's all it is. It's not an attorney license. Nobody needs a license to be an attorney. All that is a bunch of bullshit. Because if anybody remember, Abraham Lincoln was an attorney. He didn't have no license to be an attorney, but he was an attorney. It was a bar association, a bar club. That's what they pay their dues to. But the best thing of it all is they took an oath of office. Once you violate that oath of office in the Constitution, you can be sued. There's no ifs and no buts. The lawsuit has to continue. The lawsuit has to follow through because you violated that constitutional right. You violate your oath of office. 1983. 1983. You know, people need to wake up. Wake up, people. Wake up, man. Wake up. All of this is a game. See, we have nothing in the United States. We haven't built shit in the United States for over 60 years. And this is why. These big billionaires that own these companies, they moved out of the United States. They moved to other countries for free taxes, poor labors on these individuals. Paid them maybe about 75 cents an hour, $3 the most an hour, no medical, no vacation pay, none of that. So our own government, like with these judges that let these bankruptcies go, they need to be removed. Let's start looking into their bank accounts, see how much kickbacks they got. Because every business that goes out of business in the United States has been open in other countries for years. They've been making their money. They got tax free from those governments, from those countries. If those countries stop giving them tax free, watch how quick they start moving back to the United States. If those other country government make them pay their taxes in their country, watch how quick they'll leave the United States, come back to the United States. Watch how quick they come back to the United States and reopen up their businesses. See, we got to stop letting these motherfuckers become millionaires and billionaires while we stay poor. They claim this is the land of the free, the land of opportunity. That's what the white person claims. But for who, though? Is it just for the politicians? Only for the whites? So for who? So you get some of these house niggers that go along with them to try to throw you off guard.
That's not a plane, man.
And then you get these house niggas that are pastors and like the rest of these pastors and preachers saying if you don't give money to the church, you ain't going to heaven. Motherfucker, there ain't no goddamn such thing as heaven. No fucking such thing whatsoever. I've never seen nobody come from the dead. First of all, that's impossible. Because once you're dead, you get either cremated or buried, okay? But once you're dead, all your organs is taken out. And there ain't no fucking such thing as a miracle from God. You walking around with no organs in you. That's bullshit. So you ain't going to fucking heaven if you don't give money to a church. That's a con artist game. That's a pyramid. While those pastors and preachers got $1 million jets, $1 million homes, and not one of them motherfuckers can take care of your rent for you or your mortgage. Damn, we should open up a church. Me and my buddy should open up a church because y'all some stupid motherfuckers out there in society. Y'all stupid. Somebody asked me, says to me, you ever think that people would wake up? I said, nah. No, they would never wake up. They would never see, because that's how stupid that the people in the United States really are. We got the worst. We have the worst of the worst. Government, corrupt, racist in the world. So I don't give a fuck you go to another country, you being treated bad. That's none of my fucking business what happens in that other country. You went to another country, you acted like a fool. They should have gave you prison time in their country. Because you don't got no right to go to another country and bitch about a fucking thing if you ain't going to bitch about what's going on in their own country. See, how the fuck you going to tell me my child ain't allowed to read this book? Who the fuck gives you that right? Because you white? My child can read any fucking book they choose to read if I had kids. So you don't tell me what I'm allowed to read, what I'm allowed to say. Who the fuck are you? You are nobody to me. Moms to burn books, moms against liberty. That's a bunch of bullshit. Them racist white motherfuckers need to be put in prison because they are a cult. All cults need to be locked the fuck up. From the Democrats, Republicans, Congress, and your president. They're all cults. Racists hate people. And the house niggas and the house bitches need to go with them. Point blank. So don't go after this man here for spying or treason when you ain't going after our own government for the same fucking crime. You are hypocrites. You are fucking hypocrites. It says in the Constitution, anyone that commits treason against the United States shall be taken into custody, held trial, and then executed. In the United States Constitution, in the original Constitution. Fuck your state constitution. That don't mean shit. Federal Constitution, common law Constitution overrides state constitution. No ifs and no buts. Anyone that commits treason against the United States shall be taken into custody immediately, put on trial, and then taken to the nearest busy highway, and hung unto death for treason, for conspiracy against the Constitution. Trump's supposed to be hung, not out on bail. The same thing with every fucking judge that violate their oath of office. They have committed treason. Every prosecutor out there committed treason and fraud. Every governor committed treason and fraud. Every president committed treason and fraud. You people will never wake up. So don't bitch about you don't got gas for your car. Don't bitch about you don't got food in your house. It's about to get worse. How the fuck you gonna tell me I ain't gonna have gas in my house? Who the fuck are you? Who the fuck are you to tell me I'm not allowed to have a gas car? Who the fuck are you? You are not put in office to tell us what we can have and what we cannot have. Climate change is coming from wars, bombs. Every state tearing up streets. Water ain't got nowhere to go because you tore up the fucking ground. Let me tell you idiots every fucking thing, man, about history. First of all, let's get one thing clear. Before gasoline was out, look it up. Look it up. Before gasoline was ever put out there, it was moonshine running your cars. They were electric cars. Before gasoline was ever put out there, the ones that stopped that, so they made a bill to ban moonshine, to ban all alcohol because the alcohol ran your car. Moonshine ran your fucking cars back then. So the governor, the president decide, and their governors decide to stop all alcohol products. Let me see, what was it called? I forgot what it was. It was just in my mind, man. To stop it all. Because the oil industry did not like that. Because these fools are making moonshine. They already know that moonshine runs a car. this guy here made a car that could run off of water. No, we got to stop this. We got to kill this man. Oh, no, he's about to take away billions and billions of dollars off of us. We got to kill this man. See, everything that's been invented already been there. But some of these people that invented this stuff again was from their relatives. And so these big corporations have those individuals killed all the time. It's not about accident. It has nothing to do with that. Our government has these corporations kill anyone that invents anything to better society. If it interferes with their millions and billions of dollars, you are a threat. You are a threat. We are all a threat to our own government when we start fighting back. We are all a threat to our own government when we start fighting back. And that's been a known fact for years. It's just like I give you an example. God bless his soul, Martin Luther King. I remember when they say Martin Luther King got, when he got shot, okay? Did you know that it wasn't the bullet that killed him? It was one of the head nurses in surgery that killed Martin Luther King with a pillow. Went in there with a pillow, a surgeon. Big popular doctor. Went in there with a pillow and suffocated Martin Luther King to death. So it wasn't from a bullet wound. No. He suffocated Martin Luther King. And I never forget, his words were, nobody will follow this nigga anymore. Isn't that amazing? It's just like with John F. Kennedy. Why was Kennedy assassin? He was assassin the same way as Lincoln was assassin Kennedy. Why? Because he was taking down the corruption of our government. He was taking down corruption of our government. Our government is the biggest corrupt agency in the world. This is why they hate other countries that don't want the United States in their country no more. This is why everybody's getting the fuck the United States out of their country. That's so beautiful. That is so fucking beautiful. Take your communist ass out of our country. And the United States is the communist country in the world. They are the corrupt. Our own government is the corrupt agency in the world. Our own government is. Our own government assassins our leaders that speaks the truth. From Martin Luther King to Muhammad Ali to Malcolm X, and you stupid people, house niggers, that I call you because that's what you are, I would never vote for you. I get calls every day, like this Sanchez that's running for president, whatever the fuck his name is. I don't even know how the fuck they got my phone number, but I filed a federal report for hacking my phone number. They had no right to call me for their votes. You just violated my fucking constitutional rights of privacy. So I filed a complaint with the FCC. And they said, are you looking for damages? Yes, I am, for harassment and terrorist telephone calls is what I'm charging them with. They had no right to have my phone number. Where did they get my phone number from? What right does the government have to call us for our votes when I never gave you my fucking phone number? What right does the government have to block or interfere of our freedom of speech and our privacy? They have no fucking rights to do that. Yeah, and then Maxwell Waters' office calls me for votes because she's running in California trying to keep her seat. I wouldn't vote for that fucking house nigga bitch. Fuck that lady. Fuck every goddamn city council person in the state of California. They're all corrupt. And you got the racist motherfucking ones in California. Oh, yeah, you got the racist Mexicans on city council, Spanish, Asian, Korean on city council, some racist motherfuckers. They are the racist, they are the worst in our own government, okay? Then you got this fat white bitch. She's a racist motherfucker, all right? I wouldn't vote for none of them motherfuckers. I didn't vote for your ass, so stop calling my fucking number. I don't even know how the fuck they got our phone numbers. That's just it. My number is private. So how the fuck you get my phone number? And if the telephone company that I'm with, carrier that I'm with, gave my number out, that's in violation of my privacy too. They get sued. They have no authority from me to give my phone number out to anyone. To anyone. Like my ex. She had no right to give out my social security number to no one. To no fucking one. To no one. To no one. That's in violation of my privacy. But people are so stupid, it's not even funny. Until it happens to them, then it's a big deal. Then it's a real big deal when it happens to one of these Democrats or Republicans. Oh my God, we got to pass this law. For what? Because it happened to you. It happens to us citizens all the time. But y'all don't want to pass no laws, even though y'all can't. So it happens to us all the time. So we got the right to eavesdrop on your calls. We got the right to know where you get your money from. We got that right because we, the people, have that right to know if you are crooked or not, if you are taking kickbacks or not. We, the people, got the right to know this. Wake up, you idiots, because it's going to get worse. It's going to get worse. I see all of these storms all over the United States, man, from Texas to Florida. Oh, let me tell you what happened in Florida. This shit is funny. The new law went into Florida for all Republicans and Democrats and Congress members. They got to fill out a form. Where they getting their money from, how they got it, who they got it from. They got to track all of that. If anyone got bribes to pass laws, being arrested under federal laws, racketeering. That's the way it used to be. It used to be like that back then until after Reagan left office, because I remember Reagan used to fight against that. No money from donors and all of that shit. We got to know where your money, I think it was called pork something they used to call it, pork lean or whatever, pork heads, whatever, something like that they used to call it when they used to get kickback money to pass laws and shit. And Reagan was fighting against that, and pork skin, that's what it was, pork skin or something like that, something of that nature, pork something, right? And then after Reagan got out of office, that's when all of a sudden it started kicking back in again from different billionaires and shit, And let me tell you motherfuckers something. Nobody should be trying to pass no laws that ain't in the United States. Okay? No laws. Israel, these motherfuckers that pass laws for Israel, them shits ain't gonna hold up in court. We got the right to boycott and picket any motherfucking thing we choose. We got that constitutional right. And every governor, every Democrat and Republican, you fucked yourselves. See, something's going to happen. And it's going to be soon. Mark my words. And y'all ain't going to be able to hide nowhere. Because people getting tired. People are getting tired of our own government. Republicans and Democrats with their lies, their corruption, they hate. People are waking up. It's not going to be taking this shit no more from y'all, man. Y'all are out of office. And y'all going to be standing trial for treason. Y'all will be executed. Y'all will be executed. Y'all will stand for trial for treason and executed, like it says in the original Constitution. And y'all can't change the original Constitution. Y'all can't add into it. Y'all can't remove. It says in so many big-ass cases. And y'all can't even never overturn them. Under no circumstances whatsoever. Y'all could try, but it's not going to succeed. Any judge in the United States Superior Court does not fight for the oath of his office in the Constitution that he swore to protect, supposed to be removed. Clarence Thomas is supposed to have been in prison. He's supposed to be in front of a firing squad and executed like it says in the Constitution, because he violated every law of mankind in the Constitution. Him and his wife, his family, supposed to be taken into custody and executed, like it says in the original Constitution. No ifs and no buts. Now that's a house nigga. That's an expensive house nigga right there. That's an expensive house nigga. Clarence Thomas is an expensive house nigga. He's the crookedest motherfucker like the rest of them fucking United States Superior Court judges are, man. I remember I forgot her name, but she was one beautiful United States judge. She told you straight out, man. The Constitution does not forbid us from saying anything we choose to say. We could say, fuck you. We could say we're going to sue you. We got that constitutional right. And I never forget in her news conference, she went just like this on national television. And if you don't like it, fuck you. That was one. Oh, I admire that right there. That United States judge right there. She passed away. Her name was Ruth. She was one hell of a. That lady was down to the T. See, my problem, I don't know if she's from New York or not, but that's a straight, if she was from New York, yeah, she's a straight New Yorker, man. God, she's from home, back home in New York, man. That's the way we are, man. You know, we don't give a fuck. Once you violate something, we come after your ass, you know. It's just like that punk ass mayor and governor we got. Take your ass back to your country. You and that bald-headed house nigga. Y'all two need to be put in prison, whiplash, and everything else. Because you violate the constitutional rights. Y'all two motherfuckers right there, our governor of New York and the mayor of New York, that bald-headed house nigga right there need his ass whipped. He was corrupt when he used to be a cop. That governor needs to take his ass back to his country because he ain't from America. It's funny how you get these motherfuckers from other countries running in for governors where their own people get slaughtered and they come here and they say there's no such thing as a violation of human rights. Who the fuck gave you that right to say that? Take your ass to your country. None of you motherfuckers is from the United States. This United States country was Indian land, belongs to the Indians. I wish to God, Allah bear me witness, every state in the United States, Indian tribes, wake the fuck up. Let's take back your country. Throw these motherfuckers out. I'm with you. I'll go back to Italy. I don't give a fuck. I'll go back to Italy. Make Italy strong again. Because the United States are the weakest people in the society of mankind. The United States is the corruptest country of the world. Liars, murderers, child rapists. They allowed our own government. Our own government allows sex trafficking, child trafficking. Your own governors allow people trafficking. Why these fuckers are not behind bars in federal custody right now? You got that bitch ass Texas governor trafficking human beings. You got that bitch ass governor from Florida trafficking human beings. Why these motherfuckers are not in federal prison being held? So what, they governors? They could be taken into custody. They have committed human trafficking. So how dare this motherfucking court hold somebody else for human trafficking when you're not holding these motherfuckers accountable? How dare you? How dare you hold this man here for raping 13, 14 people when you got these motherfuckers going to these islands raping kids and molesting them? You corrupt, crooked motherfuckers, man. You hypocrite bastard. Let me tell you, I'm going to try to run for governor. I don't give a fuck. I want the people to vote me in because I'm going to tell you right now, If I find any fucking Republican or Democrat that went against the Constitution, they will be held for treason. They will be executed, like it says in the original Constitution. Any pig, cop, sheriff, deputy kills a suspect, they will be held without bail. They will get the death penalty. They will have no bail for them. There will be no police officers, family members, and friends, and cousins and aunts, and all of that being on no fucking jury member. That will not happen. Wake up, people. When I was growing up, we was never afraid to walk out the door. Never. We protected our neighborhoods. You couldn't go in our neighborhood and snatch some kid. Hell no. You couldn't do that shit in our neighborhood. You couldn't go in our neighborhoods and rape some woman and think you walking out of that neighborhood alive, hurt a child. Hell no. Man, the United States is nothing but big bitches, pussies, gays, faggots. That's what the United States are. Punks. Because you let your own government do that to you. So you don't talk shit to some bitch. Because she got a right to call you whatever the fuck she want to call you, because that's what you are. If you can't fight for your freedom and your rights, you a bitch. You're a coward. You're the scum of the earth. So don't bitch about your bills. Don't bitch about that. You got credit card companies that went out of business and they still collecting on people's shit. They ain't even licensed in the United States. You got our own Congress governors. You got our own governors and our own Congress that let collection agencies from India, from Pakistan, from the Philippines, from Singapore, going after you for money that they send it back over there. They're not even licensed in the United States. And our own FCC lets this happen. Our own governors let this happen. Our own courts let this happen. I got a motherfucker, man, that I'm still fighting in this fucking court right now, where now my ex gave my social security number out to people, and her friend gave out my social security number out to them, right? And I'm still fighting right now with this collection agency. Motherfucker, that's not my address. First of all, you got no right to even send me this shit. You notify me by mail. Because I don't know a goddamn thing about this. Yeah. So I had to get an attorney. The attorney go, wait a minute. He gets his private investigator to check out the address. Fucking address comes from a place called Steele County. Is the address. I never lived in no motherfucking Steele County in my life. Never in my fucking life. No, never in my life. I don't even know where the fuck that is at, man. Never in my life lived in Steele County. You know, and all this shit is pointing right back to number one. You know, number one. And it hurts because of the fact that first the bitch could never be a woman enough to apologize for her lies and her corruption she did up on me. That's number one. Number two, brought this up to this bitch ass judge, and that bitch judge said it's okay. It's okay for your ex to commit fraud, identity theft. It's okay. I'm allowing it. See, that's how I got the judge. Then they said, well, you got to pay for copies of your transcripts. No. You're going to send me that shit because you on an investigation now and you and every clerk in that motherfucking office. I'm going after every one of you motherfuckers. You know, I'm going after you, what the law says I got a right to do and the constitutional right got to say to do, and what the United States Secretary of State got to say. And the United States Secretary of State says, you better have a bond on file and you got 10 days to give it to me. Can't make up laws, man. You can't make up laws. You can't force laws just to, you cannot violate the constitutional right to say you threaten someone when you got the right to say you got the right to sue them. You got the right, I'm going to sue you. You violated my constitutional rights. Freedom of speech, freedom of the press, freedom of expression. I got that fucking right to say that. That is not a fucking threat. I got the right to go after the lousy deputy that put his badge number on there because he violated due process of law. It works. I got that right to go after every one of you motherfuckers. I got that right. I got that fucking constitutional right, man. You know, I got that. Wait a minute. I'll be right there. I got that right. I got that right to do that. You know? Peace out. My friend is calling me. Oh, by the way, look up lead paint. Look up copper piping. Look up lead pencils. All of that shit you was told was a lie. All that. I don't know no fucking body that died from smoking cigarettes. Now, I had a sister. When they said she had cancer, and she smoked, but it wasn't from the cancer. She had a cleaning business. It was from the chemicals from the cleaning, we find out, when the autopsy was done. That's where she got cancer from. The chemicals from the cleaning business that she owned in New York City. From all of those fumes, from the chemicals that they use in the cleaning, in the cleaners. You know, cleaners. Let me see. See, society nowadays is stupid, so I got to put it like this. Okay, a cleaners is when you take your clothes to another business to clean for you, like iron, press. You know, that's a cleaners. Okay, and she had a cleaning business in New York City, in Queens, right around Parson Boulevard, right around in that area. So she had a cleaning business, right? And that's where she started getting sick again. And it was always pointed to that, but she did not want to accept that, okay? So she ended up passing away from all of that stuff in her lungs and everything. And I knew she smoked a lot, and she also drank a lot. So I'm like, well, wait a minute. There's no way in hell that the cigarettes did that. Now, this was back in, this was many years ago. And so we asked for an autopsy, and it finds out that when she was working in the cleaners, she wasn't wearing masks. So all of them fumes that she was inhaling was in her lungs. They were like little dots and stuff, and that came from the chemicals that was being used in the cleaners. You know, the pressure clothes, wash your clothes, all of that stuff comes out of the steam. All of that fumes was coming out of the steam, and that's what was inside her lungs. And that's what killed her. It was the cancer from the chemicals that she was using. You know, even as of this day, they still use the same chemicals in cleaners, which causes cancer. Back then, they used to spray out food, and all they do now, they use the same stuff to spray the vegetables and all of that shit. They use the same chemicals, but they use water. They use more water in the chemicals now, but it still affects you. Like my buddy, the other day, we went to the market, and we couldn't believe that a little pack of strawberries didn't make no sense to be $15, $15.99. That's fucking totally ridiculous. And they come from California, so that's fucking totally even worse. We're in California, so why are these labeled in California? But then we looked again on the back of it, and they come from Tijuana, Mexico. So you got two labels. One label says California farm, but on the back, it says from Taiwan, Mexico, Taiwan, whatever, where they grew the vegetables, where they grew the strawberries and stuff. And so he said, man, I said, dude, I'll cut them up for you and everything, man. I should do it for my wife. But first, I'm going to soak them in water. So people are so stupid when they eat these fruits. They don't wash them. They don't let them sit. See, and he couldn't believe it. So he go, what are you going to do? sit them in some cold water, and I'm gonna throw a tablespoon and a half salt in it. Okay, it's best to use some good salt. Salt period is okay though. So I put a tablespoon and a half in the salt, right? I'll let them sit in the water for 5 minutes, and now watch when we come back. You're gonna see all bugs and shit coming out of the strawberries. So he says, okay, I don't think so. So we're sitting in the living room, we're watching this game, and I hear him yell like a bitch. I jumped up, and his wife jumped up. He said, "No, what the fuck you screaming for? Look. Damn, Shafiq, you was right. Come on, man. I'm telling you, when I was married and my wife wanted strawberries, that was the first thing I always did. I get the strawberries. If she wants strawberries right now, I sit them in cold water with a teaspoon and a half of salt. That brings out all of the bugs and everything because they can't stand salt. Salt burns them. So that comes out of there. That comes out of the fruits and stuff. And then you don't have it no more. You get all of that pesticide and shit out of the fruits. And then you turn around, you wash them again, and drain them and you dry them. Then you start cutting them up, But he was shocked. He said, God damn, so all that time I was just rinsing them off and giving my baby. Yep. His wife said, you stupid motherfucker, I'm taking my baby to the doctors now. And I'm taking a picture of this and showing it to the doctors, man. And then she blames me. Why you had to show my husband that shit now? And then he blames me. He said, look what you did. You got me in trouble. I said, hey. You asked me to cut them up. I told you what I do. Before my wife was even allowed to eat fruit in the house we bought, I always washed them, always cleaned them, always had them sitting in salt water because it brings out the bugs and shit, man. You don't know what kind of pesticides you got in them shits, man. But it was funny in hell, though. But people don't understand that. I seen this couple, man, just turn around and made me sick. He's walking in the store, eating strawberries. And they're like, God damn, fool, you just ate about maybe 6-7 worms in that one fucking strawberry. You just bit that apple with a worm or something in it, man. And it's hilarious, even in grapes. In grapes, you get these little, they call seed worms. So you got to do the same thing with the grapes. You got to let them soak in water. But the best thing to do is you soak the grapes in warm water and you throw in there a teaspoon and a half of salt, and then you throw in there a teaspoon of baking soda. And you'll see the pit worms coming out of the grapes. And what bothers the pit worms is from the bubbling of the baking soda. So once you do that, you see all of them bugs coming out of your grapes and shit. But people don't do it. They just wash them off. And no, you don't just wash them shits off, man. You let them shits soak for about 5-10 minutes, and you see all of them bugs coming up out of your shit. But don't worry, though, because when you do that with the grapes, what kills, if there's any eggs in there, it automatically kills the eggs. But I don't think that it can transport to your body, to your system, because if you got a good immune system, your body immune system will fight any bacteria whatsoever. So let's get that cleared right now. They'll fight any kind of bacteria. If you got a good immune system, But yeah, people don't. I'm coming. They don't realize that, man. Peace out, man. I'll get back on to y'all later on. Read your original Constitution. Read your original Constitution, not your state Constitution. Your state Constitution don't mean shit. Your original Constitution, 1776 all the way up, is the original Constitution. These laws that they passed don't have no significance on your life whatsoever, because Congress cannot pass no laws. The president can't even pass laws. Look it up. Read your Constitution. Read it. We, the people, have to take back this country. We, the people, have to take this back, throw these crooked motherfuckers in prison, execute them what it says in the Constitution, hold them for treason. That's what we, the people, have to do. Start holding these government officials liable for treason. That goes for all, Republicans, Democrats, president. We all have to hold these motherfuckers accountable for treason. Peace out. I'm coming.